Good morning, Keller Williams. Wow, another week. And just wanted to say thank you for your patience. And I know that some of you are a bit frustrated. Believe me, the last 8 weeks has been some days more frustrating than others. But I just wanted to reiterate that that your leadership has taken a lead role in making sure that we protect you at the highest level. I know that that some people are still having trouble with the COVID forms. They're very non-evasive anymore as far as collecting information from potential buyers. But I believe that the forms, when we said that the forms were on COVID-19, like on steroids, these forms, they probably are. And they are for a reason, simply because they're being used by Keller Williams throughout, as far as I know. And they have allowed us and you to do business in a different manner. And it provides us with a great tracking system. Not only for a tracking system, but I think that one of the call-outs when this first started is Keller Williams going to take a lead role? Is leadership going to take a lead role in being the first to the line in regards to providing us with some clear direction in regards to COVID-19? And I believe that we did. And I believe that the forms that we created for our agents and our partners are, at the very least, allows us to do business in a different way and in a safe way. So when you're getting pushback, I think that you need to remember that if you didn't have these forms, your work environment could look a whole lot different in regards to how you do business. Because your provincial association has come out with a form that is, in my opinion, very direct as to what is essential and what is not essential. And we could debate for a very long time the essentiality of a buyer and a seller to look at homes and purchase homes. These forms allow us to do that in a very methodical way, and I indulge your patience as we charge through this new charted waters, and everything changes on a daily basis, and the forms eventually may change to adopt to the changes, but right now they are the forms and the policies that Keller Williams Capital Realty has put in place to protect you, to protect the buyers, to protect the sellers, and last but not least, to protect Keller Williams Capital Realty. So I just wanted to take a minute to reiterate that these forms are very important for us. Sorry about that. So let's have a look and see what COVID-19 is doing in New Brunswick. The New Brunswick Chief Medical Officer of Health has confirmed no new cases of COVID-19 in the province for 12 straight days. Wow, what an amazing stats. These are great stats to read. Only 4 people living with the illness out of 118 confirmed cases the province has recorded. There are no one in the hospital. Another great day for New Brunswick. Life will return to a different version of normal, and we'll learn to live with this virus, Dr. Jennifer Russell said during Thursday's new conference in Fredericton. But Russell made it clear there will be more cases in the future, and New Brunswickers will need to adapt to different kinds of normal that will include physical distancing and wearing face masks. If we look at our province, we had 118 active cases. We have four active cases remaining, no one in the hospital, no one in ICU, and 114 people recovered. When you look at read the paper and look at the news and look at what's going on in Quebec and Ontario and not very far to our friends in Nova Scotia, we are very, very, very fortunate. And it would be kudos to everybody involved who has taken this very seriously, and it's kudos to you who have helped flatten the curve on this COVID-19. Out of the total population of New Brunswick, only 1.9% of the population has been tested. Jennifer Russell said yesterday that they are going to do more testing, and they've did the parameters that there's different levels of what you first needed. It's at different levels now, so they're doing a far more outreach in regards to what's being tested. So keep up the good work. I think that the the province will probably somewhere between now and midweek will announce the reopening of some additional things that are currently not open. For our folks within Keller Williams, I know there's a whole lot of people hoping that daycare is one of them, so they can come back to work. But at the same time, we have done very, very well with our being able to service you as our members, partners, with the staff that we have, incredible staff that we have that have been working at home on your behalf for approximately 7.5 weeks. So kudos to our staff for being there and doing it even at night times because they can't get anything done during the day. We appreciate what you do for leadership, and in particular, we appreciate what you do for our partners. In regards to technology, I am very pleased to announce that everybody has been scheduled for the TAPS audit. Scott and I have been inundated with very favorable comments on David and the process he's taken everybody through. I talked to David last evening, and he said that it's been quite an experience to say the least, but he's enjoying every minute of it. He gets to know the agents individually, and he is enjoying this exercise. So kudos to David for taking this on. He has 19 more interviews to do, and then the TAPS audit would be complete, and then we can put our report of findings together, report them back to you, and then start to facilitate, to put a program together to help each and every one of you at whatever level you're currently at, and take you to whatever level you're currently like to get to. That's our goal, and hopefully in the near future there'll be some face-to-face, but I'm assuming that until that time the contact will probably be by Skype or Zoom or one of those avenues. So the newsletter came out from Canada. I thought that this morning we should share some great news. As you can see, Keller Williams Capital Realty, first in Canada for closed units for the month of, or year to date, closed units. First in Canada for net agents year to date, fourth in Canada for gross agents, and fifth in Canada for appointments. These positions have not changed since March the 27th. Even with COVID-19, we are doing very, very well. So I'm asking you to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. And again, I would encourage you to adopt those forms, because they're the forms that is allowing you to do business at an even higher level. If you look at the over for the individual units, Lisa Hare, number 2, Vicki LaForge, number 4, and this is for the month of, these are year-to-date as well. Nick Dunfield, number 8, Claude Bastarash, number 10, Helena McDermott, number 13, Carla Hunter Kingston, 17, Dwayne Muir, 24, and Eric Lynn Scott, number 25. Looking in the team units, the Ryan Realty team is number 5. Williams Realty team is number 7. Partner St. John Select Inc. is number 9. House to Home Realty number 21, and Constantine and Co. number 24. And in group units, we have the Derek Jock team at number 12. Very, very encouraging stats, and all of us are very, very proud of these accomplishments. So, we're going to have a guest speaker speak to you in a few minutes, but I wanted to stand here and talk to you about what Bowl Pivot is. And as you can see, Bowl Pivot is not Bowl as you knew it for the ones that took Bowl in Moncton a year and a half ago or 2 years ago with Bill Hobbs. This one here is focusing on mindset, scripts, expenses, doubling down on leads, social media, and taking command of your command database. When is it starting? It's starting on Tuesday, May the 5th. Up until this point, we have 43 registrants. I would like to think that we can get to 75 or 80. I was hoping that we get to 100, but if we got to 75 or 80, I guess that would be great. So far in Canada, I believe that we have 875 registered for Bowl Pivot, and out of all of Keller Williams across the world, I believe there will be close to 20,000 participants starting on Tuesday. This Bowl Pivot normally will cost you $799. This class going forward for 4 weeks is $99. Keller Williams continues to lead by example by offering digital version of Bowl 2.0 training at a massive discount. Invest in yourself and in your business. And a couple, I think last week or the week before, I said that, education is where you need to be pouring yourself into. And for $99 US or $138 Canadian, it may be what's going to help kickstart your business as we pivot and move through this pandemic. So if you look at the way it's going to be laid out, is that in week 1 it's classes is 1 to 3 Central, so that would be 3 to 5 Atlantic. So you got the classrooms on Tuesday, May the 5th from 3 to 5. Then on the 6th, you got Coach's Corner. Then you got classes again on Thursday and Coach's Corner on Friday. The classes are very, very important. All of it's important. I think Bill Hobbs will mention that when he comes on. All of it's important. But the classroom is very, very vital that you participate in those classes. Bill will explain what Coach's Corner is, I'm sure, when he comes on. And we'll have a session at that. So I think before we go into anything else, I think that maybe we'll move over and bring on our friend Bill Hobbs. Many of you who would know who Bill is, Bill was the Master Maps faculty coach that coached Bowl. He did an awesome job. He helped a lot of us pivot our business a year and a half or 2 years ago. So without any further ado, let's welcome Bill Hobbs to the stage. You're
Can you
good,
hear me all
Bill.
right? Amanda, and perfect, perfect. So, Keller Williams Capital Realty, I just want to say I'm excited to be here today. And thank you so much for inviting me. It was a year and a half ago that I was in your area doing Bold, and I am so excited to be here. So, just to introduce myself, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I was a productivity coach here for almost 4 years, and I've been a Bold coach for 3.5 years. As a productivity coach, the program generated 33% of company dollar, and we averaged the last 2 years over 250 units sold. So what I want to do today is I really want to talk to you and not just about Bold Pivot. I want to talk to you a little bit about your business in these amazing times that we're in right now. What I want you to remember is in today's climate and every climate, what we focus on expands. Now, my goal today is to deliver value to you and talk about the importance of mindset. Some opportunities we have every day, fears that not only agents are experiencing, yet our clients and our vendors are experiencing. Things we can't, and there are things we can control around that. I want to talk to you about the gift of the shift, and really, I'm going to close out with explaining a little bit about Bold Pivot is, and I'll answer any questions at the end of the day. So, mindset. As we think about mindset, some of the biggest challenges we find right now is, people are waking up, they watch the news, they watch the media, and they don't know, what to believe and what not to believe. And what I want you to know is when I looked at the numbers that Austin just went over with you, you all are so fortunate in what is going on in your area and the lack of the, the transmission of what's going on. We're seeing every part of the country opening up differently. And I noticed yesterday, a lot of my friends on Facebook, they said that Texas is actually starting to open restaurants back up. Yet inside dining, they're only allowing 25% capacity. Outside dining, they're keeping the 6-foot distancing requirements. Here in South Florida, where they've had a shutdown and basically you can't go outside without a mask on, can't enter a building without a mask on, they actually opened up. Every single city, every single state, I'm sure every province is being allowed to do things based on what's going on in their area. So you've got some amazing things coming. Now, when you have a mindset challenge, what I want you to think about is, how can I overcome this? Well, we can't control the first thought we have every day, yet we can control every thought thereafter. You know, one of the great things that we can do is get up and just say a positive affirmation in the morning. I want to ask you a question right now, and I'm not looking for an answer. I just want you to think about this. What is my mindset right now for production? You know, Humans have a fear right now. And the number one fear we're seeing across the country is they have a fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. Think about this. You're driving a car extremely fast and you're approaching a blind curve. The natural tendency coming into that blind curve is to slow down. Well, what I want you to know is our business, we were driving that car extremely fast and we came into this blind curve called COVID-19. And one thing we have to do is we have to get out of our comfort zone and we have to put the pedal to the floor and speed up. We have to have faith that on the other side, it's going to be clear and safe. Gary Keller had a mastermind last week with the top 20% of the coaches across the country. And there were a couple of takeaways. And I just want to share with you what a couple of my takeaways were that stood out. Number one, Gary said, we got to think longevity. Don't take risks. Survive first and thrive later. You can't thrive if you don't survive. This next one was really important. Everyone, everyone should be face to face with their database and clients daily. That's right. I said face to face every single day. Agents should be on the phone daily. Coaches should be on the phone daily, talking to your database, talking to your clients, talking to small businesses. You know, right now, it's a great time for us to add value, provide value. And Gary says service first, sales second. You know, another thing that I took away from Gary said, don't lower your fee, double your value. Don't lower your fee, double your value. You know, in shift, Gary says every shift presents a gift. Sean Rawls, a really good friend of mine, a former OP of multiple market centers, and an author and public speaker and coach and trainer as well. He wrote a post on Facebook this past week, and I just want to read to you what the first paragraph said. The truth is that every shift presents a gift. This one is no different. And the biggest gift we have is the gift to work on ourselves, to strengthen the core of who we are, and to realize how we feel and the thoughts we have and the things we have control over. You know, in Bold, we talk about there are things we can control and things we can't control. Today, there are things we can control. What I want you to know is when this first took place, one of the things that I let go to the wayside was my schedule. I stopped following a schedule for a week, and because, and some of you may have done the same thing. Yet the one thing I found is just as soon as I got back onto a schedule, just as soon as I started using a schedule, my life got back to a sense of normalcy. And I started having purpose and value every single day. So what I challenge you to do right now is if you're not using your schedule or not scheduling yourself every day, you know, some of us have children and we're homeschooling children, and that's part of our schedule and our routine, and that's okay. Yet we have to put together a schedule and follow a schedule. The other thing we can control is our actions and activities. How many touches we're making every day. Now, what I want you to know is we can call our clients, even though we called our clients last week, can we call them back this week? Absolutely. Things could change daily, things could change weekly. And what I want you to know is I was on a Zoom call with Mo Anderson this past week. Mo had surgery right at the beginning of all this. And when she came out of surgery, she actually realized she needed to have distilled water for her aftercare. And she sent somebody to the store to get distilled water. And what she found was fascinating is there was no toilet paper on the shelves and all the water was gone. Somebody in making their care calls called Mo and actually said, is there anything you need? And she said, yes, I could use some distilled water. I can't find any anywhere. Within 2 days, within 48 hours, she had 103 gallons of distilled water on her front porch. Now, what I want you to know is, as funny as this may sound and as amazing as this may seem, what I want you to know is the people we're talking to, if they don't have a need, they're looking to help others. So when you find somebody that has a need, let your sphere of influence know what wants, needs, and desires others have. We can be the liaison between those in need and those that want to help. Now, I want to ask you, and I'm not looking for answers. Well, actually, I'm watching the chat on the live on the side. And what I want to know is if you've prepared a digital listing presentation or digital buyer presentation, just type yes in the chat box. I'll be looking for this response here in a second. Here's what I want you to know is right now, Lance Loken, now I talked to you probably a year and a half ago and I asked you if you knew who Lance Loken was. Well, Lance Loken is an agent out of the Texas area. And last year he averaged over 2,900 units. Over 2,900 units. 2 years ago, Lance was doing all his listing presentations digitally. Lance talked to all the coaches at 10 o'clock in the morning, Texas time. And one of the things Lance mentioned is that he had already done 3 listing presentations by 10 a.m. And he had already gotten 3 listings signed. 2 years ago, Lance was doing this digitally. Now, I'm not saying when you come out of this to do everything digitally. Yet what I want you to know is, especially in your area, some of your clients can be an hour away. If I had my listing presentation or my buyer consultation dialed in, could I save my clients time? Could I save me time? And could I use the digital platform to leverage all this moving forward. I've got an agent who was on a Zoom call this past week, and she said she was a buyer's agent. And she said, I will never do a buyer consultation face to face again. All my buyer consultations will be done by a Zoom platform. I have not had a buyer cancel yet, and all my buyers show up, and it creates huge leverage for me. So if you haven't prepared a digital listing presentation or a digital buyer consultation, what I would challenge you to do is right now is the time to get that done. The other thing too is right now is a great time to clean up your database and get all the blanks filled in. As you're calling people, talking to them, don't make it an interrogation. Yet just come from care and candor and come out of curiosity. Let them know that I'm just updating my database and I just want to make sure I've got all my information correct. Remember, when we come out of this, how much mind share you have in all these people we talked about is going to be extremely important. It's going to blow your business up and move you forward. Now I'm going to answer some questions. One thing we can do that is really big right now and that we do have control over is registering for Bold Pivot. Now, what is Bold Pivot? It's a 4-week coaching, conditioning, and training program written for right now, written for the market of the moment. It's going to be live streamed and delivered 2 days a week. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's going to be from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time. So that's 4 o'clock my time, 1 to 3 p.m., 2 to 4 my time, 3 to 5 your time, 3 to 5, 3 to 5 your time. So I'm looking at everything. And what is it? It's everything Bold 2.0, plus it talks about current scripts, strategies, and dialogues to move your business forward in these uncertain times. Now, there's an optional, and Austin mentioned a minute ago, there's an optional Coach's Corner every Wednesday and Friday. Every Wednesday and Friday. Now, what Coach's Corner is it's going to be facilitated by Bold coaches. Coach's Corner is where we're going to be able to practice scripts and dialogues, where we're going to talk about successes and challenges. And what I want you to know is this whole course, Bold Pivot as a whole, is going to be facilitated, coordinated collectively by all the Bold coaches. It's not just one Bold coach. It's not just 5 Bold coaches. It's all the Bold coaches. Over 40 coaches will be facilitating Bold Pivot. And finally, we also have a Bold Private Pivot Facebook group. The Bold Private Pivot Facebook group is where the live streams will come in, all the materials will come down to the agents, and guess what? You don't have to print the materials. The materials will come down in PDFs that you can actually fill in, as opposed to having to print and fill in by hand. So you've got multiple choices with this. Now, where else? Let me ask you, could you go and have over 40 coaches available to you over 6 days a week? The Bold Pivot Facebook group is manned 6 days a week by Bold coaches from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. So 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time, we have Bold coaches on every day. So when is it again? It's Tuesdays and Thursdays starting May 5th. And all the Coaches Corner, the live streaming is done from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time, which is 3 to 5 your time. Now, what if I miss a class? That's okay, because all classes will be recorded and available on the Bold Pivot Facebook group, along with all student materials. So all these recordings are going to be housed and stored on the Bold Pivot private Facebook group if you happen to miss a day. Now, I would challenge you not to miss a day, because it will be interactive, just like what our session is today, where you can post on a chat and engage with the group. Who can attend? This is amazing, because right now, other companies have kind of abandoned their agents. Yes, they put some things out there, yet they haven't stuck in and stuck by their agents and kept them moving forward. You can invite anyone. When I've done Bold across the country, I've had spouses that said, I wish my husband or my spouse, partner, significant other could attend. Well, they can't. Here's the other thing. Who sold you your car the last time you bought one? Reach out to them. They're in sales. They could use this. The vendors who are out of business right now, shut down, they can attend. Anyone can attend. How do I register? Again, it costs $99 US. MAPS Coaching, MAPSCOACHING.com is where you register. You click on the Bold link, the Bold Pivot link, and you can register. So I've got three questions for you. Number one, after this is over, what am I going to be remembered for? Number two, what is my business going to look like on the other side? And number three, what is one thing I can do today that will help answer those two questions? So if you would, if you have any questions for me, please go ahead and put them in the chat box. I'm monitoring the chat box right now, and I'll answer a couple of questions before I move on. So if anybody's got any questions, I'll monitor the chat box here for a second. Okay, well, I'm not going. I don't see any questions popping in. What I want to do is thank you so much. Go to Bold Pivot, sign up. Where else are you going to be able to get over 40 coaches 6 days a week at your availability, plus some amazing training getting you moving forward in these times? It's all $99, mapscoaching.com. Thank you so much, Carrie. Thank you so much, Austin. Everybody that I've seen before, I miss y'all. I look forward to coming back into your area and being able to present Bold live to you face to face, yet take advantage of this huge opportunity. Austin, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Thanks for everything. That was very, very.
You're welcome.
That was very, very well done. And before I go any further, I'd like to say thank you to Amanda and Brad, who has being able, with all the technology that we have, being able to do the live streaming that I'm doing, plus bringing in guests to have conversation with. So when people say, are we in tune with technology? Well, we've got this happening, and we've had this application now for 3 or 4 years, and we're getting to find out how great it is. And there's a lot of other companies out there just trying to figure out what we've had in our presence for probably the last 3 to 5 years. So thanks again, Bill, and let's take a look. I know that that for those that are on command, there's been some excuse me. There's been some updates through Keller Williams International in regards to the white pages, and there's been some agents that were reporting that they can't find their listings in command. They're addressing that. Neighborhood data is being worked on. So we're hoping that that will be done soon. The new version of the consumer app will be released on May the 5th, so that's not very far away. And I was on a masterminds call with Gary Keller yesterday, and Josh Team, who is in charge of the vice president of the company, or president of the company, I guess, said that that their technology group has been working 24/7 during this pandemic to make sure that we can get the technology at the highest level. As a matter of fact, they are working in shifts, so they have people working night and day on this technology to ensure that they provide you with the tools that you need. And by the way, all of this technology has been built by agents for agents. It's not somebody that dreamt this might be good for the real estate agents. This has been designed by us and you in regards to where we're going. The other slide I wanted to bring to your attention, and we send this out all the time. I know that Bold Pivot starts next Tuesday. I'm not sure what the schedule is for Gilles on his 11:30 calls, if they're still migrating that way, but we'll send you an update if it's not, and we'll keep you abreast. I think that by far everyone that's on this call and all of our partners in Keller Williams Capital would have to attest that we have been giving you every ample opportunity to participate in education and training at the highest level over the last 7 or 8 weeks, and we will continue to do that going into the future. A few notes that I wanted to, there's a few liners that I wanted to take and share with you out of my 6 hours with Gary Keller yesterday in regards to, I wrote some of the things that he said, and I thought it was worthwhile to share. He said, in real estate, we help people when they want, have, and need to sell. Always activity, just need to identify it. There's 2 kinds of agents, one who will take advantage of the market of the moment and ones who will wait for the good market to return. Smart business owners learn to go from operator to owner. If you're healthy when this crisis started, you have a greater chance of surviving. COVID is like an asteroid that hit the earth. Business as usual is not the solution. We need to look at cutting the fat and cutting some muscle, but we do not want to cut the bone. You as individuals need to look at your businesses, and you need to do 3 audits. One of the audits is your expenses. Where are they too chubby? Your second audit is based on efficiency. How can we make more? How can we make more less money heirs? And then the third one is your capacity audit. Excess capacity is a killer in a crisis. We tend to lose focus on capacity. We need to return to core activities. And his core activity is what? His core activity is leaning in, doubling down on your database and lead generation. The other thing that he says, if you're betting that this will go away soon, you're making a scary bet. When we are at the highest level of stress, we revert to the lowest level of training. How you are training right now is your lowest level of training, and still higher than your competitor's highest level. When we meet our customers at where their pain is today, we win them for the future. There will be a new normal. It will change the dynamics. We will have to meet customers where their needs are. The number one lever for leverage in life is education. We do things smarter when we know better. The other quote that I thought was very important, I'm going to end with this, is people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And I could say for a great amount of certainty that Scott and I and your leadership cares about you immensely. And we have been pouring in, and we will continue to pour in on you because we see you as our valued partner. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Practice social distancing. Wear a mask. And wash your hands. And please, please, please put a lot of consideration in signing up for Bold Pivot. Thanks so much.